Hello, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that do already know who I am, my name is Danny, of course, Nair King Elliott. Those of you that don't know me, that is my name now. Go subscribe to my channel if you can. There's a bell at the top right hand side. Just click on it. It'll automatically post all types of new notifications when I do a video or I'm just sharing a post or anything that I'm doing on my channel. It'll automatically notify you, letting you know that hey, he's doing something. So this video is going to be about my first post-op appointment. We did that this morning at 9 a.m. in Austin, Texas, which is where we are at the moment. It went good. Doctor came in. It wasn't Dr. Crane this time. It was actually his assistant.
His PA, Parker.
Parker. And I can't remember the other woman's name.
I believe she's like a nurse or something, but they both came in and they said that he's doing really good. Like, this is his first post-op in, second week of surgery? Since surgery?
Yes. I had surgery. Those of y'all that don't know, I had surgery May 11th. Okay. I had bottom surgery, the ALT, which is from the leg. So I have, my donor site leg, and I also have my skin graft leg. So everything's healing extremely well, extremely fast. I'm doing well on pain. I don't really take pain pills like that. Of course, most of y'all know that from top surgery. But overall, my pain tolerance it's always been, at levels. So I haven't had much pain. I've been doing really good with healing. I've been doing really good with, just trying to maintain the whole ideal rotation of, routines, because there's so much stuff that you have to do as far as, two legs that I have to take care of. One, you have to, use this, it's kind of like a mesh oily type dressing for, like, if you get like a shark bite or something and you have a very severe open wound. This is what they use to keep your to heal your tissues and stuff that's inside your leg, the stuff that you don't see. Considering, that's my left leg. So my right leg, I have a skin graft side, which they took skin from that side after surgery and slapped it over to my other leg. That way it would give me the blood flow that I needed, since they took a major artery out of my left leg and use it for my follow, which is now considered my dick. I'm just saying. We'll bleep it.
Okay.
But anyways, so that's what they use a skin graft site for. And so that way, since they took major arteries and they took a lot of blood flow from this leg, so it's very low on like the blood flow that it needs to survive as a tissue and as whatever else is left in there. This is what's going to help it go back to normal. So, and it's doing good. I didn't get some people, it doesn't work well. So what I mean by that, like, not really work well, but it rejects the skin graft. So they technically end up doing another one. Those are for people, those that have complications and stuff. I didn't have one of those complications. Haven't had any complications. And I'm hoping for none at all, even with the whole, urethral, which that's next. So that's going to be a big step for me. I'll finally be able to pee out of my phallus, and that's what's going to, debate rather I'm going to have to need a structure or whatever the case may be. But I feel like I'm not going to need one, which I'm hoping that I'm not going to need one, just obviously for the sake of, complications. Just don't want to have one. No, who would want to have one? But, I have a good teammate here, and she's been helping me a lot, and she's been doing great, like.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you guys, just like, as far as going through this process with him, this is not for the weak. As far as spouse, as far as the person that's getting it, this is not for the weak. You're going to be doing things that you probably had no idea that you were going to be doing. And it's a learning process. And as long as you both are supporting each other, it can come out really amazing. Like, just going into the appointment today, they was like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you guys are really working together as far as a team. because that's what it takes. As far as, if you're doing this by yourself, I'm pretty for sure if you have a caretaker or whatever the case may be, just make sure that
They're
you're
doing it right.
comfortable with them and they're doing everything that they need to do correctly. And that's what I think is going to be the main source for your healing process to be successful. Like, he's already like at the point of, they said, his second pulse stop. Like, the things that, the way he looks right now, that's what you normally look like at your second post op. And with this being his first post op appointment,
I'm
he's,
a week ahead of schedule as
yeah.
far as healing wise. My body's healing very fast. They were very impressed, with how well my body, has just been progressing as far as healing. Like they've never seen anything like it.
They said
So
most people come in, for their first post op, on walkers, on in wheelchairs, and crutches, and he literally walked in
canes
there
and
by
stuff.
himself. Yeah, so they were really surprised of how his progression is, and of course, if there is anything that, if he did have a complication or anything like that, of course, we're gonna come and let you guys know. Um, Everything may be smooth sailing right now, but who knows what's going to happen later. We're just hoping for the best as far as his progression goes. But today went really well for his first post-op appointment. I know you guys, you've been wondering like, hey, what happened, after surgery and everything like that. Well, technically he was in hospital for 5 days. Um, so we're
Yep.
gonna go back to that. He was in hospital for 5 days. The first 2 days, this is why they tell you that you have to do bowel prep. The first 2 days, you're literally just laying there. The first night, you're on NPO. That means no liquids, no food, no nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
They give you these they're like lemon drops. It's not water, it's not candy. It's literally just like tissue, but like soaked
and
in
lemon
lemon.
juice.
And you just suck on that. That's literally all you get.
And then the next day, you're on a liquid diet.
Hmm.
So the first night or whatever case may be, you're on NPO because they said that mostly the day you get out of surgery, sometimes for most people that they have to run you back into surgery if they are unable to hear like the heartbeat
The
or, yeah, the
artery and
hear,
stuff like
yeah.
that. They want to make sure they see everything. Which it went good, thank God. At first, like I had like when I had got out of the room, I got out of the surgery room from having surgery, like they're immediately waking me up, which I was not used to that. But I could hear, but I couldn't open my eyes just yet, but I could hear everything. And I'm just hearing the cart just roll around extra fast. And I'm going on turns and up and down and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm going somewhere. So I got into where I was at and I was gradually opening my eyes because I could start seeing light and it was very bright in there. And they had these big lights like just hanging over my body. And, I hear this lady and there's a guy next to me and there's this big machine, all this stuff that they got hooked up to me. And she's like, Danny, I need you to wake up. Can you hear me? And she said that several times over and over again. And I think as I gradually opened my eyes, she had realized at that point, okay, he's like waking up. So he's okay. His anesthesia didn't put him too far under where, it takes him about an hour and a half to wake up, which is what normally happens. So she's, messing with my phallus and stuff. And she's checking the artery down there. And I just heard her talking to the other guy. And like, man, we might have to get this guy to go back in because I was way over the limit of what my blood flow needed to be, and I guess it wasn't getting the blood flow that it needed. So there was no line, the artery wasn't pumping, like it just off top wasn't
Doing what it was
wasn't
supposed
getting
to.
what it needed as far as coming out of surgery, which they say that's normal because some people have to go back in like she said, within the first 24 hours. So I was a little bit scared there. So they had me back there an hour working on me. Like they were literally still working on me
Outside of the operation
outside of the
room.
operation, trying to make sure that, my files was under good condition, was working correctly before really putting me back under again and placing me back on the surgery table. But I came out good. Every my levels and stuff started going down. My numbers started going down. They started seeing significant, you know, blood flow. They started seeing significant numbers dropping as far as here in the arteries now, and it just kept progressing from there. The more days that I was at, the hospital. Obviously, I didn't like it, but I kept getting better.
Yeah. So that was the first 2 days. The third day, they try to get him up and walking.
Well, chair. I
Yeah.
sat in a
No,
chair.
yeah, and sat in a chair first. They try to get you to sit, make sure that you're comfortable sitting. Of course, for him, it was very uncomfortable.
I did not like it. I was not. Man, I didn't. I'll say this. I was not ready for it. I wanted to. I really wanted to, and I was like, yeah, I can. It's just sitting up. It's nothing. But I didn't realize how hard it could be to really sit up like that. And considering I have all these new parts and stuff down there, my body's not used to sitting on that. So at this time, I'm sitting on, my stuff, and it's very, irritable. It's very sensitive. It's very much in pain at this point when I'm coming to the point to where I'm finally sitting up. I'm in so much pain just sitting there like that. And all I kept saying was, man, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. But I had to tell myself, like, it's not gonna feel right. You know what I mean? So I'm really hoping that, everything just keeps going how it's going. Because the way it started, I was kind of like, not having it. I was not having it for the first couple of days. They had me under pain meds because that was a requirement. That's just a requirement. They don't want you to be in bed trying to struggle, trying to do this, trying to do that. So I was medicated at the time when I was, having to sit up. They made sure I was medicated. They made sure I wasn't in too much pain. But you can still feel that pain down there for the first couple of days. And it's extraordinary pain that it's inevitable. Like, it's not something that you can just... Some people may not take any, but it's only going to stress your body out more. If your pain tolerance goes, sky high, and you just have great pain tolerance, and, you do well with pain, that's fine. But as long as you're not stressing your body. So if you're severely in pain, take the pain pills. If you are not in pain, if you're at like a 1 or a 2, that's tolerable. If you're at like a 7 or an 8, that's something where they're going to want you to start taking your meds. You know what I mean? And I was majority of the time in a 3. You know what I'm saying?
Because they keep your meds rotated. Like, they want to make sure that every 4 hours you're taking your meds, regardless if you're asleep, anything. So while you're in the hospital, they want to make sure that every 4 hours, regardless of where your pain is, that you don't feel anything at all. So they want you to keep the flow of your payment. So every 4 hours they're in there. I know the first 2 days, because they kept having to monitor his file list, checking like the heart rate and everything, make sure it has a pulse basically, and the blood flow was really good. So they do monitor up until like the second to last day you're there in the hospital. Because when I got there, the second to last day, like it was a Sunday, because he left on a Monday, they took off his monitor. They said that the blood flow was good, that his, the pulse was good. They were able to continuously check it. But then on his 4th day, surgery day, they say is day 0. But on his 4th day, he actually got up to walk, and he did really, really good. Like, when I say really, really good, he did really, really good.
And that's also recorded.
Yeah, we recorded that. So we may show like a little snippet. Also going to show a little snippet of him sitting down as well. And then his 5th day, before we get to the 5th day, his 4th day, he had like a little fever situation going on. So they were kind of skeptical sending him home on the 5th day. But they said, as far as fevers are concerned, normal coming right out of surgery, 100, 101, that's normal. But he went above it.
I slam dunked it. I had like 103.9 some. I almost hit 104. So they were severely concerned. That's when they had brought, all these people in there, and they were taking, scans of my chest, trying to make sure there was nothing wrong with my heart and nothing wrong with my lungs or my kidneys.
Making sure he had
making
pneumonia.
Making sure that I didn't have pneumonia, making sure I didn't have COVID, making sure that, they were running
have a
all
UTI.
these tests.
Yeah, they had, yeah.
Like, and every test came back negative, 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 negative. And they were like, well, man, we don't know what it is, so they just started throwing obstacles at me. Well, we want you to walk twice to make sure that, like you're really, something's really not wrong with you.
We're going to throw you on more antibiotics. So they already give you antibiotic pain meds while you're there. But on his last day at the hospital before they discharged him, they wanted to make sure that because they didn't know what the fever was coming from. They didn't know if it was something internally or if he was just having one. Mind you, he's an active person. He's not used to laying down, not doing anything at all. So him laying there, and then they just feed you and feed you. They feed you around the clock. They feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And mind you, you're laying there. You can't have any bowel movements. You can't do anything while you're laying there. So it's like he's already stuffed. He's been there for 5 days, eating 3 times a day. So it's just like... So
sometimes I wouldn't even eat, the meals like I couldn't. They would get mad. Well, you ate this morning, but you didn't eat lunch. And then I'll eat like a little bit, like bits, and I'll pick at my dinner because I'm used to only eating once really a day, a full course meal. Well, at the hospital, every meal is a full course meal. Like they give you like 7 things on your tray, and I'm like, I can't eat all 7 things. Like this is ridiculous. Like, what is all this? They give you cereal, you got omelet, you got,
breakfast
tacos. I'm like, I can't eat
muffins,
and they give you fruit. A smoothie, muffin. I can't eat all that. I can't. I just can't. I'm not like, I don't eat that much food. Like I don't eat like that. I eat dinner, so I have 2 sides and a meat and like a drink. But for dinner, they give you meat, two sides, cake,
something to drink,
and I think you actually get to choose like fruit too, or like some other side, like a salad, or you can choose between a salad or a soup or something like that. And I didn't like their soup, and I don't like salads, so
yeah, they just overfed him.
They overfeed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say, they're just trying to prepare themselves for somebody that might be able to eat like that, somebody that might eat around the clock. They never know, but my body needs the nutrients that it needs to redevelop. Mm-hmm. My body needed, a lot of these calories that I had now lost, so my weight is no longer my weight anymore. I'm even smaller than my weight now, It's one of those things that they trying to get me back to my normal weight so that my body can handle what now my body has. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the reason why they just try to feed you so much, because they want you to get your nutrients and your calories back.
Yeah, but he did very well. He did what he was told to do on the 5th day. Every doctor and nurse that came in, am I going home? Am I going home? He was so ready to go home. He was like, am I going home? Am I going home? But overall, the experience was really, really good. His first night being at home was very comfortable. I would give, for him, it was very comfortable for him, because going from the hospital bed to an actual bed, it was very comfortable for him.
Yep.
So, but one thing we would say is when you get home, if you can, get some type of massage, something for your back and your bottom, because I know for him, that was more so of like his struggle areas. That's what was hurting the most, was like his bottom and his back, because his tailbone and his back, not technically his bottom, but like his tailbone area and his back. Now, he did really well. He has not had any pain meds since he left the hospital, maybe like a couple muscle relaxers or something like that. And of course, stuff for constipation because they want you to take that regularly,
Yep,
so you're
that.
not
Mm-hmm.
straining, because you do have something new and they don't want you to strain and hurt anything or bust any
But
sutures
yeah,
or anything like that. So that is basically something that needs to happen, as far as taking your constipation meds. That's what I would say is more so a requirement. As far as pain meds, technically they said within the first week you're supposed to take your pain meds 4 to 6 hours, around the clock, and then after that they're as needed. That's when you come home. But for him, he's different. He's already in his second week, but he's doing so great. He's doing so amazing. His progression is really good. He's getting better at walking. He does, sometimes use support as far as trying to get out of bed, um, with his cane or with
mm-hmm.
his crutch or something like that. But as far as walking around the house, he barely uses it. He tries to walk on his own because his donor site leg, where his knee is, if his knee wasn't swollen, I think he would be able to walk a little bit better. But his donor site, where they took it to create, that knee has swollen. So he's trying to get that back, down so he can walk normal.
Yeah. On top of that, I have some staples in my leg that's causing me to not be able to bend my knee very well. So when I am trying to like walk, I have to kind of walk with a limp because I can only bend it so far. And with those staples being there, sometimes me walking too much, my knee will start to hurt, especially if it's either sitting, like if I'm sitting down in like a chair or on a couch somewhere, and you know how your leg just hangs over the bottom side of the couch. Well, my knee is there and it's putting pressure on it, and there's staples on both sides going down, more towards lateral my way, of the knee, slash thigh area, and that puts tension on the staples and it starts to severely hurt sometimes. So those are some days where I may take a pain pill or I may take a muscle relaxer just to relax that area, so that way I'm able to walk or anything like that. But it happens very so often, but that is something, to, for whoever that may be getting this type of surgery done, to look out for something like that, because it's a very irritable area. And when you're laying down, I would advise you to put like a pillow up under your thigh, more towards
The
where
calf
your
muscle.
calf muscles are, to your knees. That way your legs is not just hanging down or just straight, and it just puts tension. It
It's
keeps, you
elevated.
kind of elevates it, and it keeps level. That way you can still have the correct blood flow in his legs, so that way you're getting what you need and it's not causing too much pressure.
hmm And then, another thing, his favorite part of the day is you have to take a shower daily. You have to take a shower daily.
Every
That
day.
is required. Now, of course, like when you're in the hospital, they do come in and they do give you like
Sponge baths,
sponge baths.
they are not very fun, they are not efficient.
But when you do come home and you have to take a shower every day. It's best suitable to get a shower chair if you can, if you're unable to
Yes,
stand.
get one.
Um,
No, get one, because I'm telling you now, I probably could now stand in the shower a lot more longer, but my first week home, I couldn't do it. Like, I have to sit down, like you can only stand up for so long. Like your feet and your legs and your knees can only take so much stand at
and
that
please
point.
don't try to do it by yourself. Just please don't. I mean, he's to the point now where he can get in and out of the shower by himself, but his first week, like, you
I
need
needed help.
someone in there because both legs has something on it that's trying to heal. You got a skin graft on one and you have a donor site on the
Yep.
other. And it's hard to move around. Now his skin graft leg he can move around with, but he has to use that leg to move the other. Like he has to put more support on one leg than the other.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, um, that's a lot that goes on with that, but just please have somebody to help you. Now, as far as your donor site, you cannot put water in that area whatsoever. Wherever your donor site
Yeah,
is.
wrap it with saran wrap or some plastic wraps, anything that would keep that water from exposing that area, because that area is not supposed to be getting wet at all. So if it gets wet, I can't really tell you what it'll do because it hasn't happened to me, and I'm hoping that it still doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, and then as far as the skin graft side, you can get it wet, just can't have soap.
Soak it. I'll tell you right now,
Soak it
soak
with
it.
water. If you want to heal fast, soak it with water because
Soak it.
that's what he
Warm
did.
water, soak
They
it,
said hot, warm water, however you like it. Just that's all you can put on it is water. They do say get like a hair dryer or a heater afterwards, but for him and I, we just been letting it air dry after he gets out of the shower.
And it seems to be working just fine doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as far as every other area, yes, you can use soap, but it cannot be scented. Has to be unscented. Um, as far as the tip of the phallus, you can't put water, soap, anything in that area. Everything else, make sure you just clean it, soap. However, of course, it's not going to be normal because you are working with newer areas, and it's not going to be normal. A lot of things is going on with the knee area, and then like afterwards, they say don't put cotton like too much like cotton in the areas because sometimes cotton stick to like your stitches and your sutures and stuff like that. Gauze works really good. Like once you get out of the shower, works really good as far as drying the areas. Um, Making sure that there's no soap. For him and I, what works best for him is what is it called? Q-tips.
Yep.
For him, what works better for him after he gets out of the shower is Q-tips. So we use that to dry and clean the areas. Um, they do give you some type of antibiotic ointment to put on your suture lines. They also said that you can use Neosporin, but it's the original one. You can't use the one that has like
Pain reliever in it.
yeah.
So bisotracin is like the best. It has everything that it needs in it. That's what they use. That's what I use. You know, it isn't cheap. It is expensive. It's a little expensive. It's a little on the high price side. Of course it is. You know, any type of, stuff that helps you clean wounds and stuff like that is not ever, the gauze and stuff isn't even cheap. So
No, it's not.
whoever is doing your surgery, whatever place, whatever facility, please ask them if they have some type of
Surgery bag.
surgery pack, that they may have everything available that they order, that they put in a bag specifically for you, which is something that I bought. And they gave me a little bag. I didn't even know they were gonna give me a bag, but they gave me a bag. It says Crane Center on it, and they got everything I need in there for the next 8 weeks. So it's about $250 a bag. Normally you only need to buy one. Whatever you buy one per surgery, and that lasts you to heal you. That everything in that bag is supposed to help you heal for the entire amount of time for your surgery
We will say
recovery.
the only thing that you will need to buy, like
It's
we said,
bisotrace.
that antibiotic ointment. As far as his donor site leg, once everything is dry and everything, we unwrap the leg with the old stuff and put new stuff on it. Which, like he said, that you put like this little oily mesh on it, then you put gauze, and then you put on what is it called, like an ace bandage around it, so it's not exposed. But so far, so good. Everything has been going really well. Um, Especially being his second week since surgery, but his first post-op appointment.
Again, this is Tori. This is my girl. We have, videos and stuff that are gonna come after this, so we'll do another post-op video after this one. I will try to throw some glimpse in there about, walking and stuff. I have that on an actual video camera. Some stuff is, majority of the stuff that I do is, always record on my phone. That's an easy way for me to do it. I don't do much editing because I try to get straight to the point. I try to give y'all everything. I try to, not have to, go back and take anything out. So I try to, just not really rehearse, but I try to give y'all everything of what I do on here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but everything's going good, guys. And this is the little update that we have as far as after surgery. So it's been about, 2.5 weeks. And I'm pretty sure the third's going to go even better in the fourth. But like I said, we will keep you guys updated. We will try to, give all types of, information that we can. Every
Video.
we'll try to give any type of information.
If you guys have any questions or anything like that we can answer for you
no
guys,
problem.
please comment below and we will definitely answer them for you. I mean, it's a new experience for me. I'm sure it's new for him. He went through top surgery, so he knew what that was all about. But of course, we're both experiencing this together. He can answer some questions for you that I may not, but on a girlfriend perspective or someone that's helping, I can answer those questions for you. So we're definitely here to answer any questions or concerns that you guys may have. So please comment below if you have any questions to ask us. Also, towards the end of this video, we're going to put like glimpse of like from day 1, day 2. It's going to be some videos, some pictures as well, that you guys may see from like day 1 to now of how it looks. Please do not be grossed out. This is just something that people that go through this surgery, this is what it looks like. And we're both amazed of how his results have been as far as like his donor site and his skin graft site. So we're gonna also like show you guys from the day he was in the hospital to now, those pictures. So just look forward to those in the comment section or towards the end of this video.
So I would like to thank you guys for, tuning into my channel, for watching me, for supporting me, for sharing, commenting, liking, and also turning the bell on for all notifications that may come through for all new videos that I may post. Again, if you have not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, follow, share, like, comment, and go ahead and hit that bell if you have not done so already. Again, thank you guys again for following my channel.
Bye.